Well, how y'all folks? It's Jimmy, your native Flor-xan, and kind of got a little special one for you today. We're going to be doing a little experimenting. I've been looking at the internet and I kept seeing, different people cooking Alabama white sauce and putting it on chicken and stuff like that, and I'm like, daggum, man, it's been a long time since I've made any of that. And so then I got to thinking a little more. It's like, well, why does it got to be Alabama white sauce? Well, I know, Big Bob Gibson in Decatur, Alabama, he's the one that developed it and this and that, but I think we're going to put a little Florida spin on it. Maybe call it some Flora-Bama sauce. So hang in there, let's get to it. All right, getting started out, folks. I know typically Alabama white sauce goes on whole chickens or half chickens or whatnot, and I've already done a whole chicken video not too long ago, so today I decided we'd go with some chicken thighs. And so I got them laid out here on my fine china tray, but I did want to show you something now. When you get your thighs, if you got any of that excess skin on there, just make sure your meat's covered good, and then go ahead and trim that off of there, just so it's not hanging off to the side. And especially if you decide to do this on a charcoal pit over hot coals, you won't have that hanging out there dripping down and blowing your fire up. So I'm just going to trim that off of this one here. All right, we got that all trimmed up. So the next thing I'm going to do is I got some chicken broth with a little bit of seasoning in it, and what I put in it is some of this special shit here. So I like this. It's got a little bit of a celery salt flavor to it. It goes good on chicken. And the next thing we're going to do with that is we're going to inject it into these thighs. I think I mentioned it in the whole chicken video. I like using the chicken broth because what goes better with chicken than chicken? So I'm going to get these injected, and then we'll work on seasoning the outside. All right, so that last one was so small I didn't want to take that injection too good, but that's okay. What I'm going to do is, instead of rubbing them with olive oil, I'm just going to go ahead and spray them with a little bit of canola oil, and then I'm just going to put my house seasoning, just get them coated real good. Again, our sauce that we're going to make is what we're counting on to give this thing some real pop and some real flavor. So I'm going to keep going on these, flip them over, and then we'll get them out on the pit. All right, folks, so we got the pit on 250, and I know I've talked about when we did the whole chicken that I talked about you need to get your temperature up above 300 in order for that skin to crisp up. And so you might ask, well, why has he got it on 250? Because I'm going to show you, as I've talked before with these pellet smokers, that center is way hot. So right there we're showing about 370, 360, depending on where we hit it. I hit one spot that was over 400. So what we're going to do on these is place them to the outside of this fire cup in order to not get them too hot, but to get them cooked the way we want. And then when it comes to crisping up the skin, we'll move them a little bit closer to the inside if we need to make that happen. So again, we're just gonna place them around here, keep an eye on them, and let them go till they're done. Looking for an internal of about 165. Okay, folks, so we're going to get started on our Flora-Bama white sauce. And for this, I'm going to start off with a half a cup of mayonnaise. I'm not going to do a whole lot of this because it's just 4 little chicken thighs. Get that in there. Next, I'm going to go with a 1/4 cup of apple cider vinegar. And so I forgot to get lemons. So we're going to use the lazy lemon juice. And I'm going to do 1 tablespoon of that. Then we're going to do 2 tablespoons, and this is part of our Florida element, 2 tablespoons of orange blossom honey. Now, if you're in an area where you can't get orange blossom honey, it's all over Florida. There's several places that sell it. But if you can't get it, I did see that there's companies on Amazon that sell it. Just make sure it's coming from Florida. That's not a must, but this particular one comes from Florida. I did see a McCoy brand, which comes from Fort McCoy area, so on and so forth. But trust me, you're going to want Florida orange blossom honey. All right, then we're going to add some of the house seasoning, probably a teaspoon. I got half a teaspoon of datil pepper powder. This is the other element that we're going to add to make this our Flora-Bama sauce. All right, once we get it all in a bowl, we're just going to whisk her up till she's nice and smooth. All right, folks, so like I said, we're experimenting. I got this mixed up real good. Took a taste, and I think our ratio is off just a little bit. So I'm going to add another half a cup of mayonnaise to it and see if we can get that to the consistency and then to the flavor we want. All right, so we got that mixed in. Let's give her a taste real quick. Oh yeah, much better, much better. And then you can see that sauce is a lot thicker, which is what I was going for. Ooh, that datil pepper kicked in. So here's our sauce. You can taste a little bit of that sweetness from that orange blossom honey, and then that apple cider vinegar gives it just that little twang in the back of your jaw there. So again, folks, just to recap, we got a cup of mayonnaise, a quarter cup of apple cider vinegar, 2 tablespoons of orange blossom honey, 1 tablespoon of lemon juice, some house seasoning, and then we did 1/2 teaspoon of datil pepper powder. Now, if you don't have any datil pepper powder, you can find it on Amazon. But essentially, a datil pepper is the same Scoville units as a habanero, so you can substitute habanero pepper powder, or if you don't want something that's that kind of hot, you could use a jalapeno or whatever kind of pepper you want to use. A lot of the recipes I saw either had horseradish in them or cayenne pepper, and so in order to make this Flora-Bama sauce, I decided to use the native datil pepper. So again, we're going to set this in the fridge, and I'll be back with you when we go to take the chicken off the pit and dunk them in here and see how it tastes. All right, folks, I already flipped them once. Let's take a good look at them here. See, they're getting there. They're getting there. Take a quick temp just to see where we're at. .38. That one's there. That one's there. Just gonna move these over a little bit. That one's there. So this one still got a little bit to go. Alright, folks, so that time has arrived. That last chicken thigh finished up, and took them off the pit. Got our Flora-Bama white barbecue sauce out of the fridge. Let's see if we can try this out. All right, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna grab this little one here, and I'm just gonna dunk it and flop it around in that sauce a little bit. Let it drain a little bit. Put it on a plate and let's let it set for a few minutes. All right, folks, we're gonna see how we did on this. Well, if I can grab a hold of it. Man, that is good. That is really good. Man, that is good. You get a little bit of that orange blossom honey, gives it a little sweetness with that vinegar and the mayo, and then that datil pepper gives it just a little heat at the back end there. But I'm impressed. I'm impressed. I would say that's a successful experiment. We now have Flora-Bama white barbecue sauce. So hopefully you try it out. Again, you know, as we were making it, we kind of had to add a little more just to make it the right consistency, but make it your own. Use whatever peppers you want to use in it. Use whatever honey you want to put in it. If you're here in Texas, maybe you'll call it Tex-Bama or Bama Tex sauce. You know, whatever you want to do, but it is good. It is really good. I recommend you try it. Hey, again, thanks to all the people that subscribed. I really appreciate it. Give me a thumbs up. And if you haven't subscribed, subscribe to the channel, ring the bell, and that way you'll get notifications whenever I post videos. But other than that, we're going to get busy on some Flora-Bama white barbecue chicken. We'll see you on the next one.